Hello YouTube fans, here again. As it's my day off today, I figure why not, why not? I've not been away for a bit, I do apologise for that. As you know, I've been a busy bee, but I figure as I did But What Does and the 20th Century, why not this one if I'm talking about sci-fi? Why not? I'm gonna tell me that's me doing a shit version of this. If you want to know what the fuck I'm doing. Battlestar, actor. Loved this. I remember buying this a long time ago in a charity far away. Battlestar, actor. This is the box set series, and as you already know, they only ever did one series of this. Sadly to say, it was on the worst network ever, and I think you know what I'm going to say, the ABC channel. They was going to do, if I remember right there, they were going to do a second series of this. It's not this I'm talking about, by the way, but the movie. But eventually I'm going to talk about the series. This shows how of a mad fan I am. No, I'm not seen the remake. No interest. This to me, I do up watching these with the Scions, that's them robot things. And then they did the follow-up, Battlestar 1980. Now for people who may not know, get back to the series before I talk about the film. They only did one series, ABC, worst TV ever on network, as I say, took it off air. Took it off air. Which pissed me off. They was to do a second series, but it never was to be. So in 1 year after 1979, 1980, they did a foil one. Go Battlestar 1980 at all, because the day was 1980. Again, going to do a second series, not to be, and they didn't make any more, sadly to say. But that's not why I'm speaking. I'm speaking about the movie, because this movie has a lot of history. One, a lot of people said it was a Star Wars rip-off. I can understand the Star Wars rip-off on this one. Come out 1 year after Star Wars, being 1978. And this has a lot of history because no other film has ever done this. Because before the ABC, they did a movie version of this, and they made a televised version, which is basically the same movie. Same movie, different bits, a different type of ending, and so on, which I'll get to when I talk about the televised version. But it's the same bloody movie. So they did a theatrical for the theatre, that's this one. And the following year, they did the movie one, but basically it's the same fucking movie, only it's now in the TV format, and there's a few extra scenes what was not shown in the theatrical, but it's the same movie. If I was to play it back to back, you see what I mean. But I'm on about the movie one. So it feels like it was a Star Wars rip-off. I thought I was going to do sort of like films. It weren't too big. So the following year after, 1979, they decided, bear with me, it's stuck in my throat. They decided, so I'd say for an audible cough, to do the TV version being Battlestar. Now I always remember the music, and if anyone was around and ever played a game called The Mutant Tamils, or was a Tamil, and it used to shoot everything, you will know the theme tune straight away. If anyone remembers a classic theatre game from the old Net 64, you know a game called Mutant Tamils, because it plays the same theme tune to this. The same theme tune. Right? Moving on. This is a classic. I'll say it again. This is a classic because you got that as the opening. What an opening. And yeah, you can see the similarity with the Scions and the Starship Troopers. You can see the similarity with the spaceships, the laser guns. So you can kind of see why people say it was a Star Wars wannabe or a Star Wars rip-off. But I still like it. I like it for a lot of things. I like it because you've got this actor. Now, a lot of people remember him in Bonanza. Right? We all remember him in Bonanza. And I also remember the son, Apollo. May both of them rest in peace, as both of these actors are sadly no longer with us. May they both rest. So I love the scene he does the voice to it. He does the voiceover. He has the voice, the charisma, being the dad. I like Apollo. I also like Starbuck. This was before he made his big break in the classic TV series. being the 18. I like that for a lot of reasons, apart from a little dog won't shut the fuck up barking. Even my little dog's getting excited, you hear my dog barking downstairs. So where can I go with it? You get the date opening again, like I just said, the music. And the Scions want to make peace. You believe that? You believe anything. And they want to make peace. They don't want war anymore. You've got this guy as a spokesman. You're saying, oh no, the Scions, they're not going to want war now. They want to make peace. They want to end war, love, peace and all this. So you've got all these people thinking, yay, they're going to make peace and everything. And you've got one actress. How can I forget her? How can I forget her? If you remember the bloody name, it will come to me. James Seymour. How can I forget a freaking name? James Seymour is in this. If anyone who wants to know who James Seymour is, think of Live and Let Die, the Bond girl. That's right, Live and Let Die. She also played one of the girls in one of the Sinbad films. Very beautiful actress, still is. And this was a big break. She's now going into sci-fi. So she definitely did a lot in that era, James Seymour. You know what I mean? She was the Bond girl. Maybe Roger Moore made his first appearance. And not only that, she was appeared in, like I say, one of the Sinbad films, and she appeared in Battlestar Galactica. And she's doing a news report at the Scions are going to be peaceful. Long and behold, they're not. They're not. They attack everybody, they wipe everybody out. And when you think about it, this was before we ever had the 9/11. And this is a bit ballsy for a sci-fi film. This is ballsy. Seeing people getting attacked by Scion ships, seeing these attacking people. There's a bit of this now I'm watching and thinking because of the 9/11, the terrorism and things what are going on worldwide today. Even though this is futuristic, it's sci-fi. Would they get away with this now? Would they get away with something like this? But I went with it because it's a film. And they wiped everybody out almost and so on. And this little poor boy uses his dog. And Apollo comes in, want to know what's happened. And then they find out the one who is making a peace conference is one of the villains. Now, this is the bit where I will do a comparison, which I will do when I talk about the series. The main baddie in this gets killed, gets beheaded. Because of the rating, they didn't want to make it violent. But you've got the idea, one of the Scions, that's them, behead him. But in the TV one, you find that's actually quite different. I'll get to that when I talk about the TV one. The difference between the theatrical and the televised one. Now, this, sadly to say, like Star Wars, it's not special edition. It's not remastered. But you do get to see the beautiful, original widescreen format in which the film was shot back in 1978. And I love the film. I love the bit with the ships firing. I love the bit with the spaceship fires out. Just this. And I'm thinking, this is actually made for TV, originally. The budget is brilliant. It feels like I'm watching a big blockbuster film. I love the battleships. I love the bits where they're fighting. That's the eye candy of the film. To me, that is the eye candy of the film. And then you get Starbuck, and you get the idea, he's your typical tap the lad, he's your pretty boy, and he's seducing women, and one of them sees what he's doing on CCTV, he's having a bit of nooker, again, keeping it mild, because it's a mild rating. She besses this steam thing, what burns him, but it never really goes anywhere, that. And thinking, she's burnt him. It never really went anywhere. But I kind of like him in this. You can see why they had him in the 80s. You know, he's a gambler, he smokes cigars. And I'm thinking he's trying to make him a bit like the Han Solo character. You know, the character what Harrison Ford played in the Star Wars films. He's kind of like a Han Solo character. And I like the character for that. You know, Starbuck is a character, he's arrogant, but you love to like him. You know what I mean? And he's Apollo's mate. Apollo's the son of the father. And they do get a robotic dog called the Danzy, which I do know was a real life, was a orangutan. And I do remember talking that when I was reviewing the book Watchers. So in real life, if anyone sees a robotic dog, I don't know if it's anywhere in the series, I can't see it anywhere. But I remember this robotic teddy bear looking dog. In real life, that was a orangutan, that was a monkey, dressed up with a metal suit. And I do know the little boy who named it Potsy. he got bit in real life by this orangutan. It panicked, it wasn't vicious, it just nipped him a bit and it frightened him. But in real life, I'm thinking, that's like cool. It's cool. They test this fucking little orangutan, a monkey, in a metal costume, and they dubbed its voice. But there's actually outtakes on the box set, the TV series, and the box set, when it shows behind the scenes and outtakes, there are some pretty funny bits there, which even I chuckle when you hear him doing a date performance, but then you hear the orangutan at the background, you know, making noises what a orangutan does. So you got the main villain, who's, you could say, sort of like a Darth Vader sort of thing. You never see his face, but you've got the voice. And he has this lizard walking around on his shoulder, from Alien, whatever the fuck it is. And I like the bit when in this casino, it's definitely Star Wars here, you got these aliens with 6 eyeballs, singing this really cool song. Long but older people are getting abducted. These aliens are wanting to eat them. They don't mean that in a naughty way. And Apollo figures out what's going on. They save the day, they save the girls, and they get out. And then they have this epic space fight to destroy the Scions. I love the battle scenes in it. Again, I love the bits with the laser ships. I think it's fantastic. I saw the back of it. This, to me, is amazing. The fight scenes and everything. The only thing what pisses me off is I felt they should have had some bolder features. You know what I mean? Maybe a making back in the day, maybe behind the scenes. I do know there's a lot of deleted scenes, but again, that's only for the TV version. But the fight scenes in this is epic. And then it ends, fire off, you've got the father's voice again, talking in the background, and it ends with the date song again, that I'm not doing the best, I'll kill it. But they were going to do a foil one, weren't too big, so instead they did the TV version, being the TV series. But Battlestar, the movie, there's, like I said, there's one character in it you'll love to hate, and then you find out because he's dead, he's taking money, he's leaving everybody else that's been wiped out, the ones that survived. He's leaving them in poverty, so you think he's a bit of a dick. But in this, I love the ending. When I get probably to the TV series, you see what I mean by had a total different ending. You see what I mean. But this one, on the other hand, I like this. I think it's a damn good series. The remake, nah. But this, I loved. I loved the costumes of the actors that were the Scions. Now, I do believe that the costumes they were wearing, they couldn't see a thing. So the actors, some of the extras, who was the Scions, dressed up in these metal suits, the laser eyes, everyone might remember. In real life, they had to have people hold their arms and so on. It was a very funny scene. You could get to see it on the special features where they're falling over. It's like a game of Donimals. If one actor had one of the Scions was walk and he accidentally weren't watching what he was doing, he would fall over the other one, and they'd all fall over. It was like a game of Donimals. It really was. Because the poor actors could barely move and they could barely see what they were doing when the actors were playing the robotic Scions. So I thought that was like a funny scene to see. You see it on the actual, I won't put it out again, but you can see it on the disc itself. It is one of the most hilarious things you'll see. You sort of feel sorry for the actors and the extras who was playing the Scions because they could not see what the fuck they were doing when they were playing the part in it. But they definitely had a fun time. It's sad they never made a second series, but when I get to the last one, I had fun watching this. It's not one of the best, but it's not one of the worst. But I'll get to that when I get to the last of Battlestar. But to me, the movie, it was definitely a big hit. It didn't make blockbuster money like Star Wars did, but it definitely was big enough to make a televised version. But into them, be smart, be safe. I'll give it a 3-star. But into them, see you later.